Hey guys, I'd like to thank all of y'all for coming tonight for our 2023 FAME Cohort 5 signing day. Again, thank y'all so much for coming. I know the weather is not exactly what we would have ordered up, but thank y'all for braving it and coming out with us, and we really appreciate that. So we're going to start off tonight. Our president, Dr. Kathy Murphy, is going to come up and give us a little welcome and say a few words for us. So, Dr. Murphy.
Well, good evening. Thank you so much, as Andy said, for coming out on such a wretched evening. I was so afraid my car was just going to flood out in some of that rain, but thank you for being here. FAME is one of my absolute favorite of all programs that we have. The opportunity that our students have to have a work experience and to take those academic classes. I've always felt there was such a disconnect by the way we do education. Sit in a classroom, don't understand how this fits anything, but for our FAME students to get the instruction and then to go out to business and industry and to have that opportunity in real time to apply that, that's just terrific. I'm so proud of our college and those who lead our FAME program, and I am so grateful to business and industry who connects with us. So thank you so much. Welcome to this evening, and the pleasure's mine to serve as president and to be a part of this great FAME program. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Alan Smith. I'm the Dean of Workforce Development at Gadsden State, and I have the honor to talk to you a little bit about FAME tonight and talk about our recruiting process. But first, I would like to recognize some individuals that we have here from the college. We have, of course, Dr. Murphy, but also we have members of our college executive cabinet. If you would, raise your hand. I won't make you stand up. We appreciate our executive cabinet being here tonight. Gadsden State is all in on FAME, and it's a big deal with that. We put a lot of effort into doing this, and I'd like for our workforce individuals that are with Gadsden State that have been a part of the recruiting, a part of the outreach, a part of the decorating the event, or anything like that. Could you raise your hand or stand, please? Let's give them a round of applause. There's been over 60 different events attended, whether it's high school recruiting events or whether it's going to different places to talk about FAME since October. We go all in looking for the absolute best students that we can find so that our industry partners can pick some applicants that they can invest in while we train them. And we have a commitment at Gadsden State from our executive cabinet, our workforce staff, everyone involved here, and it's a total commitment to providing the best experience for our student and serving our industry. We have, before you tonight, industry partners that are going to sign you up to be a member of something that is awesome. I was able to spend a little time yesterday with a person that founded FAME at a national convention in Huntsville, Alabama. And one thing that he stressed is FAME is global best. You're not just learning how to be the best in the Gadsden State service area. You're not just learning how to be the best in Alabama or the United States. You're learning how to be the best in the world. And if you will stick with this program, you are going to walk out of this program prepared for the most awesome future that you could imagine. I have two sons at home, and I would be just thrilled if both of them went through this program. But one thing I learned about with my sons, not too many years ago, we would watch a movie every now and then called Willy Wonka. Y'all remember Willy Wonka? And what did Willy Wonka give out so you could go to the chocolate factory that Charlie was trying to get? It was a golden ticket, right? If you're getting an opportunity to sign tonight, you've got a golden ticket. And I'm going to tell you, you hang on to it. There will be days that come that you will maybe not feel like studying. There'll be days that come where you might not feel like doing, but do not quit. You will regret it, because I have seen our famed students that are here tonight go through this. They're prepared. At the convention in Huntsville yesterday, they were head and shoulders above students from all across the nation. We have one of the best things going here. It couldn't be done without our workforce staff, without our awesome instructor, Ms. Tarina Venata, and it is a wonderful thing. I want to talk to you a little bit about the recruiting tonight, which is what they've asked me to do. But now that I've given you an overview about FAME, and as these slides scroll across, you'll see some of our goals that we set for each year. We're really proud this year that we exceeded all of our goals in recruiting. There were over 160 applicants for this FAME signing cohort. And of that 160 plus applicants, we weeded down, I'm waiting for the slide to roll up, we weeded down so that we could have 44 individuals go through the interview process. And it was our goal for our industry to pick the ones that we have here tonight. We wanted to increase our diversity in our FAME signing cohort by 10%, and we exceeded that. We've exceeded all of our expectations, and tonight is a night of celebration. But I want this to be not just a night of celebration, but let this be a night of recruiting for next year. Because I don't know how many people we have here tonight, maybe a couple hundred, but I want you to go back and tell people in your community about this program. It's really, in some areas, it's a kind of a secret, kind of a best kept secret going in a lot of places, what we can do to change lives. So I want you to be an advocate for this program and all the wonderful things that it can do. To the industry partners, I tell you every time I see you, thank you for participating. We appreciate the commitment that you make to our students and to our training. We're constantly trying to see how well we can do to improve, and we are committed to being involved in this in any way. Where is our East Alabama Works Director, Lisa Morales, located? Ma'am, would you stand, please? You're not getting off as easy as the rest of it. I would just be totally remiss if I did not mention the awesome collaboration with East Alabama Works and Gadsden State. Lisa Morales is the best workforce or the best region director anywhere in the state. I'll put her up against anybody. Let's give her a round of applause. And we have a special guest tonight, and I'm just going to ask her to put her hand up because she's wearing two hats tonight. But she is with the Alabama Community College System, and she oversees a lot of FAME chapters in the state. And Audrey Redd, would you raise your hand or stand up if you'd like? Let's give her a round of applause. We have more folks from ACCS. If you are from the Alabama Community College System, or if you're an educator or administrator or teacher of anybody, raise your hand, please. Let's give them a round of applause. And parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, let's see a show of hands. Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone. I hope I've not left anybody out tonight. I always look at our PR director and put her on the spot because she does a great job, and maybe we should give Ms. Evans a round of applause for doing a good job as well. Thank you, security staff. Thank you, everyone, for attending. This is a wonderful night, and it's time for me to stop talking, and let's move on with the program. Enjoy yourselves, and thank you for coming out.
So now that Alan's put me on the spot, I'm going to put him on the spot. We could not do this program without the great support from all of our Gadsden State friends and family. Alan Smith, Workforce Dean at Gadsden State Community College, truly believes in this program and provides us the tools and resources that we need. So let's give Alan a round of applause. So we have an amazing group of industry partners. When we went about this endeavor of the FAME chapter a little over 5 years ago, Scott Haywood from Honda Manufacturing, the Alabama auto plant, we looked at what would serve the needs of business and industry, kept coming back to FAME, and so we thought FAME would be a great program. We sought out a training provider with Gadsden State Community College. They jumped in head first, jumped in with both feet, and have been there as a great support. We seeded that first cohort that following spring, and they started college in August, and it's been an amazing group of industry partners that have been with us every step of the way. Most of our industry partners have been with us 5 years. If they were not one of the initial industry partners, they were on the wait list and have joined us. We have a wait list of probably about 15 companies right now that want to be part of FAME. So for you students that are joining FAME this year, you are part of something bigger than just you and your company. You are part of a great movement helping to keep our manufacturing community up and running. We can have great plant managers, great employees at our manufacturing companies, but without those committed professionals in industrial automation, we would not have that line running, and every second that line's down is money that the company is losing. So I want to recognize also our FAME industry partners. I usually go around geographically when I talk about them, but today I'm going to go alphabetically. Bridgewater Interiors, Eastman, General Dynamics Ordnance and Tactical Systems, GH Metal Solutions, Honda Alabama Auto Plant, Cook Foods, Colacraft, Chronospan, Legacy Cabinets, M&H Valve, and Prince Metal Stampings. Let's give those industries a round of applause. And so just like the student slots in our FAME chapter are very coveted, so are those industry slots. And so with those 15 employers that are on the wait list, they are hoping that one of these employers will not take students next year, but I have a feeling if I look over at them, all those smiles and nods, I think we've got a good group of committed industry partners for 2024. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing your students signed in just a moment.
All right, so now the time we've all been waiting for, we will get started with signing. If you don't mind, I'm going to read so that you know. So these students that are coming up are fixing to sign the AMT pledge, and the AMT is Advanced Manufacturing Technician Pledge. And I'm going to read to you real quickly just so you know what they're signing and pledging and agreeing to. So it says, I, as they state their name, pledge to dedicate themselves to achieving academic excellence while demonstrating professionalism and observing safety in the classroom and at work. I will complete professional development, 5 manufacturing core exercises courses, earn an associate's degree in industrial automation technology, and work a minimum of 1,776 hours with a sponsoring employer while enrolled at Gadsden State Community College. So that's part of what this program is about. Dean Smith kind of highlighted a little bit, but I want you to understand when these men and women come up, or young men and young women come up, that's what they're signing. That's the pledge they're agreeing to. That's the commitment that they're showing, and that's why we're here honoring them today. So if you don't mind, we're going to start, and our first signee is going to be Mr. Ryan Reynolds. So Ryan, if you would, come on up, please. Here we go. Bring that to you. Yeah, yes, please. If you hold it up, they should take some pictures of your. Don't cover your face up now. Let them see you. Let them see you. Our next signee is Mr. Mason Geralds.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
So I'd probably be a little remiss if I didn't explain a little bit. These students, we're fortunate this year. We had such a tremendous class that we filled the industry needs, and they said, hey, we still like a lot of these young men and women, so we were actually able to select alternates. So in case someone drops out or has an issue, that's what these first two young men are alternates. So that's why you see right now they don't have a sponsoring company, but we also guarantee them before the end of the first semester, they will be going to work. So they will be working soon. It's just a matter of time, and I also put that as a challenge also to everybody else that's signing. Just know there's two people nipping at the heels waiting to take your spot, so don't make a mistake, okay? So we're going to start with our industry sponsored, and we're going to start with Prince Metal Stamping, and the first signee for them will be Mr. Will Martin.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah. Our next Prince Metal signee will be Mr. Dalton Elliott. Their next signee will be Mr. Evan Brown. And the final Prince Metal Stamping signee is Mr. Brandon Whitlock. Our next industry partner is Bridgewater Interiors, and their signee is Ms. Talisha Smoot. Our next industry partner is Eastman Chemicals, and their signee is Mr. Judge Dartery. Our next industry sponsor is General Dynamics OTS, and their selection is Mr. Anthony Burns. Thank you. Our next industry sponsor is GH Metal Solutions, and their first selection is Mr. Michael Otten. Their next signee is Ms. Amalia Rochelle. Our next industry sponsor is Honda Alabama Auto Plant. Their first selection is Mr. Weston Day. Their next selection is Mr. Garrett Webb. Their next selection is Mr. Max Payne. Honda's next selection is Mr. Canyon Cox. And Honda's final selection is Mr. Caden Cox. Our next industry sponsor is Cook Foods, and with their first selection is Mr. Brylan Pinkleton. Cook's final selection is Ms. Hope Jenkins. Our next industry sponsor is Kohler Crafts, and their selection is Mr. Joshua Kennedy. Our next industry sponsor is Chronospan, and their first selection is Mr. Carson Whitehead.
Our guys are going to work.
Their next selection is Ms. Bailey Mitchell. Their next selection is Mr. Oziel Gonzalez. Their next selection is Mr. Ethan Wright. With our next selection is Mr. Gavin Moore. Colonel Span's next selection is Mr. Trent Hopkins. Colonel Span's final selection is Mr. Jacoby Parker. And Colonel Span did have one more selection, but unfortunately the young man was not able to be here tonight, so John didn't just bring extra hard hats. He actually had them counted out right.
Trying to hire a drop from
That's what, yeah. Our next industry representative is the Legacy Cabinets, and their first selection is Mr. Hunter Pulls. Legacy's final selection is Mr. Cole Elder. And our final industry partner is M&H Valve, and with their selection is Mr. Brody Wood. you don't mind, again, let's give a round of applause to all our industry partners and all our signees. And I also want to take time to introduce our East Alabama Fame chapter officers that we have right now. We have Ms. President, Ms. Dana Cordell. If you would, raise your hand, Dana. Vice President, Mr. Kenny Duncan. And Treasurer, Mr. Kelvin Wright. So again, we can't do any of this without the industry partners and without our chapter, and we greatly appreciate everything they do. So I'm just going to take just a few minutes now and talk to you. You've probably been seeing these slideshows running through. It's got some things that I know all of you need to know, and they're also in the pamphlet that you have in front of you, just a couple things to talk about, because as mom and dad, something we found out as you come to these signing days, sometimes you may not know exactly what's going on or what fame is. You've just kind of heard some of the hype of, hey, we get to go to school, we get to work. They're going to do their best to take care of paying for the school, which we're going to do our best to do through scholarships or grants or something, some way or another. But that's the other thing I'd say. This is a working scholarship. So that's part of the whole goal, is that your student, son, daughter, whatever it may be, should graduate with this degree debt-free, which is what everybody wants, so that they're not starting out in the negative or in the hole, having to go ahead and try to pay off a student loan or anything like that. But in the day-to-day, Dean Smith did a great job kind of elaborating and talking about the technical training and some things that you'll get. But with this program, there's a lot of hidden aspects a lot of people don't know, and you don't know it till you get into the program. For example, you're going to see, I think as you see rolling through the slides, punctuality. These students are expected to be at school and at work 20 minutes early. And that's something you'll see, and I've heard FAME students talk about as they've gone through the program. They've ingrained that in their everyday life. They're now 20 minutes early because we tell them 10 minutes early is great, but that's one flat tire, one train crossing, one thing going wrong to make you be late. So that's why we strive for them to be 20 minutes early. So that's coming to school 20 minutes early. So, and at work, and I'll tell a story on myself. I met some FAME students at a high school to graduate, to go recruit. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had to be there at 8 o'clock. Well, I'll tell them myself, I didn't uphold the FAME standard and arrive 20 minutes early. 7:30, they're calling me, hey, where you at? And I was like, I'm sorry, guys. I'll be there about 8:40, about 7:45, 7:50. But that's the whole point. They were there 30 minutes early to go to the high school ready to recruit. So these students adopt that. That just becomes something that's ingrained in them at this point. So in addition to punctuality, they're going to work on public speaking. So they will have to get up probably about 4 times a day. Tarina, is that probably accurate? And have a 4 to 5 and have a safety circle where they will gather together and they will talk about a safety topic that is student-led and something they have either seen at work, on the road, at home, just some safety topic that they lead on their own. And I'll tell you, and Ms. Morales and all of us that have seen presentations and as students have gone through the program, you have students that come in this program that maybe they're kind of introverted, they don't really want to talk a lot, and they're shy. By the second, third, fourth semester, you would think it's a completely different person. They're ready to get up and talk in front of people. A young man that Dean Smith referenced yesterday, I think, is with us today, Mr. Wes Simmons, I think, back there. Yep. So, Mr. Simmons, if you would raise your hand and stand up for him, Wes. I got 3 graduates, I believe. Wes, Luke, and Brody, all 3 of y'all graduating, right? Y'all stand up too. I'm not going to make Wes stand up by himself. These are 3 students that just graduated, our Cohort 3. They just graduated last Thursday, so a week ago tonight. So they are actually graduated, working full-time with their industry partners now. So thank you, guys. We also have our they're our senior cohort now that's sitting in the bleachers back there. And I encourage you young men and women that have just signed, if you've got questions or things you want to know about FAME, about the day-to-day, you've got 3 seniors right there that have just finished 5 semesters in the program, 5 semesters of working. You've got a group of about 18 or 19 back there in the bleachers that are going through it right now. They finished 2 semesters, they've worked. So they're a great resource to lean on and ask questions so you can kind of get an understanding of what's going on, because I think all of them, any of you back there, correct me if I'm wrong, if you don't think this is a little faster paced than high school. Is that a fair statement, guys? So it's going to be a little quicker than you've been used to at high school. So just come prepared, and I think they would also tell you don't get behind. Don't let things snowball, because when you're just coming to school 2 days a week and it's long 2 days, if you let one thing go, next thing you know is say, well, I'll get it the next day. Well, then you've gone to work. well, I'll get it the next day. Now you've already covered another lesson that you're behind on. So I would strongly encourage you, do not let things snowball on you. Don't let it get behind. So the other thing that you'll see with the FAME standard, these students cannot make anything below a C in their courses. So they have to make A's, B's, and C's in their courses to stay in the program and stay employed, because that's part of this global best mantra that we talk about and we're encouraging. They must be able to do that. They must maintain that standard. Another thing I'll tell you about, so moms and dads, I want to give you a little assurance. So when your son or daughter is going to work, they're not, these industry partners are not just sticking them out there saying, hey, there's a machine down, go fix it. They're assigned a mentor at work. This mentor, they get to shadow this mentor initially. They're with them to be able to ask questions, see what's going on, and that mentor is doing most of the work. But as things progress and as these students have more and more training and more experience, that mentor kind of fades to the back and these students go to the forefront. The mentor is with them, but they start answering some of these calls. They start figuring things out, things they have seen. They start suggesting things, and they become a very valuable asset to the maintenance crew that they're working with. So I assure you, don't worry about that, because again, they're going into industrial settings, but industry does a good job to take care of them. They really make sure they're working with a mentor that's really guiding them and teaching them and leading them well. And we're going to have a full week of orientation that you've probably seen roll through that's mandatory. We're going to cover a whole lot of safety for a whole week. So they're going to be really busy. We want them eating, breathing, and sleeping safety, so whatever they walk into that plant with, they walk out in the same condition. That's what we want. I know that's what industry wants as well. But another thing I would mention to you, also the important dates that are up there. I just mentioned orientation. Orientation is June 5th through 9th. Those are mandatory dates. You also see them in your handbook. If you flip at the back of your handbook, I think to the next to last page, you'll see important dates. It even gets to when class starts, but that's one of the ones that's listed. So please remember, orientation is mandatory. You cannot go to work until you complete orientation. So you must come to orientation June 5th through the 9th. You'll also see in there, we have when we need your transcripts from your high school. We're going to have a summer social July 20th, because that's one thing we found. We had this signing ceremony, then you guys get out and you go to work, you kind of forget, hey, I've still got school, we've still got things to go on. So we give you an opportunity to come back about the middle of July, get back with us. These famed seniors that you see back there in the bleachers, they'll come to this social. Some of these guys that have already graduated and other cohorts come. You'll have another opportunity to ask questions, and it's probably going to be somebody from the company you're working at that you can ask, hey, this is what I'm seeing at work, or, hey, what do I do? And I'd also recommend you, Ms. Trina Vanetta. Will you stand up, please, Ms. Vanetta? This is your FAME instructor student, so this will be your instructor, and she's a wonderful asset, and I encourage you, if you have anything going on, not only is she an excellent teacher, but she has worked in the industry. So if you have things going on, questions, situations, because you might not have been in the industry, you might not have experienced this, she's a wonderful resource to lean on and say, I'll call you like the students in there, hey, Ms. V, hey, what do I need to do here? What can I do? Or this is what I've done. And she probably has experienced it herself. So especially you young ladies that are in this group. That's a young lady that finished school and went to work and has been in the industry. So I guarantee you she will understand probably any struggle that you're going through. So I strongly encourage you to make sure you reach out to Ms. Vanetta and ask any questions if you have them. I'm available to ask any questions. This gray hair, I didn't get it just for the heck of it. I've been in the industry myself for several years, so I've seen a few things and done a few things, so I'm also available anytime you need me. I'm probably not the easiest to catch, but I guarantee you'll have my cell phone number and email, and you can call me anytime you need to call me, or you can text me anytime you need to text me, because I'm available to help you guys and answer any questions. Because Dean Smith had talked to you about it. This is a golden ticket. You have just received a wonderful opportunity, because if you see one of these slides that scroll through, when you're done, you guys that are 18 that are signing now, 17, 18, going to be 18, you start to school, you're going to finish this program by the time, right around the time you're 20 years old. 20 years old, you're going to be debt-free from school. You will have worked 2 years in industry, so that means you've got 2 years industry experience to put on your resume. You should then come out making somewhere $55,000 to $60,000 a year. You moms and dads, think about that. 20-year-old son or daughter right here with you, debt-free from school, making $55,000 to $60,000 a year at 20. That's a good scenario. And here's the thing. if you're making 55 to 60, you'll never go down. You're just going to continue to make more and more and more and increase your wages. So that's part of why this is the golden ticket and really setting you up for success. We have several people that monitor you. So I did talk to you about grades, that you have to make a seer better. We don't want you getting behind. So we have a young lady, Miss Holly Patterson. Holly, I'm going to make you stand up now. That's right. Don't fall now. Stand up. Don't fall. Miss Holly Patterson is going to send out bi-weekly grade reports. So we monitor your grades every 2 weeks because we want to ensure you're a success and succeeding. If you're having issues or problems, we want to address them as quick as possible, not at the end of the semester. We don't want to have to come up at the end of the semester and say, well, sorry, so-and-so, you're not making the cut, so you're going to be out of the program and you've lost your job. I definitely don't like making that phone call, and I do not want to make that phone call. We do everything we can to ensure you're succeeding, whether it's giving you tutoring, whatever it may be. And I think the cohorts here will talk to you and tell you, lean on your cohort members. There may be somebody in that cohort that's strong at whatever subject or whatever it is you're struggling with. Lean on them and ask them. That's the whole point for them to be in there with you guys. Okay? So I'll open it up now. If y'all have any questions, anything I might not have covered, any burning thing you'd like to know. And I always do so good that nobody asks questions, right? If I will be around too, so if you have something that you might not want to publicly ask or whatever, or if you'd like to see me and pull me aside, or I guarantee you, I recommend lean on these students back here in these fame shirts. They have been through it too and they know, but please take advantage of it. We will move this, probably we'll move this step and repeat probably down to the front, maybe move some tables back so the family can have pictures so you don't have to coming down up and down off the stage. Wouldn't want anybody to get hurt. But if you'll give us just a few minutes, we will move this down. Family members, that's why you're here. Please come take pictures. Recognize your son or daughter that's here with you, your loved ones. All of you get up in here. Industry partners, hopefully they can stick around for a little while and take pictures with you also. Just any pictures you guys want, that's what we're here for. And thank you so much again for coming and being part of this tonight and entrusting your student, your son or daughter, to come through this program with us and let us turn them into the AMT they're fixing to be. Thank you guys very much. Thank y'all.